All right. So it's been a while, and for a very good reason, too. Personally, I have not been like uploading a video in like forever. At least it feels like forever, but yeah. Anyway, I'm only here to do this live stream because of what's happening with YouTube and all that, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. And I'll explain about it right now because, well, if you remember back in March, I think it was March, YouTube said that they were going to remove or they were testing that they were going to remove the uh, like at the dislike count. Everybody thought that it was the dislike button, but in reality, they are just removing the dislike count, and it's for good reason. So, okay, so here's my explanation why YouTube is doing this. Well, based on what YouTube tweeted this morning, and I'm going to read it here because, of course, not everybody can see, and that is kind of the whole point of this. So, Team YouTube, right? They have tweeted something very good that I could understand that not everybody would like, but this is what they tweeted this morning, which says to reduce targeted dislikes, attacks, and their impact on creators, especially on smaller channels like myself, you'll no longer see a public dislike count on YouTube starting today. The dislike button is staying. This comes after lots of research, testing, and consideration. Now, I'm going to say this again. They are going to just remove the public dislike count, not the button. The dislike button is staying for obvious reasons. And I wish that there was some sort of, screen share to show you the video itself, but I actually can't do that. Which is why I did not show you the tweet from Twitter, because I am live on the YouTube studio. And so there is no screen share for that. I don't know why YouTube did not have a screen share like other OBS live streams that have a screen share for a reason, but whatever. anyway, I'm gonna ultimately click on this video that is tweeted from the Teen YouTube's Twitter account, and I'm gonna play it right now. Just before I give my opinion on this.
Hey folks, you may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice.
And that's the thing here. That's the thing. These trolls who came on YouTube, right? And they have the powers of all people to preemptively dislike a video every time someone uploads. They preemptively dislike a video, possibly because certain people who join together in some sort of group plan to massively dislike a video. Not sure if it's because a creator is targeted, but that's what it seems to be for me. Because these things, they do happen a lot. And it's not the only reason why I think that might be it. It could also be that people target you because of the way you speak or what you look like. And there's some disingenuous users out there that could use the opportunity to massively dislike your videos just because they don't like the way you sound or the way you look. And that is a huge problem these days. A very, very huge problem. And so, for me, I don't really love the idea of, having to disable both dislikes and likes at the same time, because what the hell would that do for any good reason? And I'm gonna go full force and talk about why the people who complained about YouTube's decision out there are not very that much bright, and why they should be ashamed of themselves for, you know, trying to not accept reality that it's been happening, and that YouTube has seriously researched something that is good for the community, whether you like it or not.
So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction. So the update from YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private. You can still dislike videos, and that action will be used to tune your own recommendations, but you won't be able to see the dislike count.
And that's a good thing, too. You can still dislike your videos, just like I have. I've disliked a YouTube video out there that never really had the amount of likes and dislikes shown. But now, with the one dislike ratio option to finally disable, because of course that's a good thing. It's been a good thing to dislike or like a video. When it was turned off. But now it's a good thing to turn off your dislikes only, and you don't have to worry about being afraid to massively dislike bomb a video. And I just hate the fact that people on Twitter today have complained about YouTube's decision to decrease the overwhelming frustrations of the dislike attacks, as they said. And for me, I'm kind of tired of having the only option to disable the both dislike and like ratio, because they do nothing for me. And they certainly do nothing for everybody else on YouTube. But also, some people in the past have said that, oh, if you dislike your video is still going to be recommended to you. Like, that's what some people think in the past. And I was confused about that, because knowingly, I made a rant video about the dislikes, and I'm just going to tell it straight. Just because you dislike a video does not mean, under any circumstances, that that your video gets recommended to YouTube. And the reason why your video gets recommended to YouTube is because of the like ratio. The like ratio, the more likes you get, the more YouTube sends out your videos. The more dislikes you get, the more YouTube does the opposite. Got it? Let me say this again. The more likes you get, the more YouTube will recommend your video. The more dislikes you get, the more YouTube does the opposite of recommending your video. And that is the sad truth. If YouTube does not recommend your video, because if you dislike a video like you're probably doing right now, it's not going to be on the recommended page. I'm telling you this right now. I mean, that's the whole point of this live stream today.
Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want. Now, a few common questions we saw from the initial experiment. First, without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of have this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not. In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched. Next common question, if creators can still see the dislike count on the back end, how is that any different? They can see it if they look for it inside Studio Analytics under the Engagement tab. But overall, it's much less likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public. And one more common question, is this because YouTube Rewind got lots of dislikes? No, although there are some teams internally who have learned the hard way what it feels like to get lots of dislikes. Now, this again is about protecting all creators and making sure they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so. All right, so that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration. Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind other platforms don't even have a dislike button.
That's true.
So consider that. Thank you, and I hope you're well.
That is true. Other platforms don't have a dislike. Like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they don't have any of that. And yes, I'm seeing that this tweet has 11K quote retweets and 1,000 retweets and 5,000 likes. So I'm going to read to you some of the most craziest responses of all time. Oceani says, Roblox scam streams, Fortnite scam streams, live scam streams. Hiding dislikes is a nightmare. Team YouTube says, Big Sigh. Scams are not allowed on YouTube, so this isn't the experience you want you or anyone to have. If possible, can you share the channel / share the video / channel URLs? Also happy to DM and get the info privately, as that's likely better. Just let me know. We'll report this for you. PCAME says you could very easily make this just optional. In fact, there already is an option, but it turns off both likes and dislikes. Making this universal is a bit stupid. We've seen that when creators use the option to turn off and choose to turn off likes and dislikes on their videos, they can be bullied and harassed for that decision. ultimately, it's our responsibility to protect the YouTube community, so we decided to make this change all across videos. Across all videos, I should say. And then Mighty Renard says, this video is a perfect example why we need likes to be public. This change will makes people's opinions less relevant. Okay, Mighty Rengar. That's not going to change anything, despite the fact that you put makes instead of makes. When I read this change will make people's opinions less relevant, it's supposed to be this change will make people's opinions less relevant. So make sure you put make instead of makes, because you are trying to write a perfect sentence, and this is close to being perfect. It's halfway there, but it's not perfect. It's what I'm trying to say. And the opinion says this: why not give the creators the option to turn off public dislike counts? I'd rather keep mine, thanks. Cut the bullshit about how you care about smaller creators. If you did, you wouldn't keep falsely taking down videos. We all know who this is really for. No, the right opinion. No, we don't. We don't really know what this is really for. And if you watched the video and paid attention very closely, this is how Team YouTube, or YouTube most likely, have researched and started lots and lots of testing and lots of consideration. So it's good to keep an eye on that. I'm not going to read everybody's comments, but they all are saying their disapproval for the dislike button, and I mean the dislike count being hidden. But, you know, for me, this is really good. And for everybody else who clearly don't like the dislikes, it's good for them as well. So I don't get why people tend to complain, why they love the dislike button so much. I mean, this dislike button doesn't do jack shit for any reason at all. All it does is that it's there to at least demotivate a video from being on recommended. As I said, like almost a half hour earlier, it demotivates a video. So I don't know why people so much have to really complain over a dislike button. I mean, if y'all complain about likes, the like ratio being hidden, then y'all would have a fit even more, because you prefer positive feedback instead of a negative feedback. But now y'all want a negative feedback. Since when? Since when do any of you want a negative feedback? Because I don't think so. If anything, dislikes just don't contribute to any feedback. And I'm just sick of seeing dislikes all the time. Every time I watch a video from CNN or MSNBC, or even if I sometimes watch a video from the White House now, because Biden is elected president, there's a stupid amount of dislikes for no reason, because people don't either like the science or like the way the news is being reported. And to that I say this: if you don't like the way the news is being reported on YouTube, then my advice for you is to not click on the video. That would be the best advice I can give. Do not click on the video if you don't like CNN. Do not click on the video if you don't like MSNBC. Do not click on a video if you don't like CBS News. Do not click on a video if you don't like NBC News. Do not click on a video if you don't like ABC News, and so on and so forth. I don't know why all of you are so obsessed with dislike counts, but this has got to stop. There is no need for any of you to champion for dislikes. Like, really, that's a weak reason to say that, oh, please, YouTube, please, I beg you, please don't take my dislikes away. I want to marry it. And if you want to marry the dislike button, so the dislike count so bad, if you want to marry the dislike count so bad, then why don't you take the dislike count and shove it up your ass? Huh? Why not? Like, I'm just sick and tired of people who complain about it all day long. I don't care if y'all wanted a negative feedback and a positive feedback at the same time. I mean, seriously, a dislike button isn't a human being that you should really care about. And the way that y'all are obsessed with the dislike count today is just creeping me out. Really, it's creeping me out that y'all are obsessively loving the dislike button. Like, I barely dislike any YouTube video on YouTube. Do you know why? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm not in favor of the dislikes. I'm not in favor of the dislike count. I'm not in favor to like a video, to dislike a video. Like, I'm in favor to like a video. I'm more in favor to like a video with a like count. But I'm not in favor to like a video with a dislike count. And that is because of the fact that it becomes discouraging for other creators, other small creators who have experienced this. And some of them, of course, they have the right idea to, like, say the reason why And it's all because of haters. So that one person named @FallDrift on Twitter says, I'm one of those creators. People put tons of effort in videos only to be disliked because the dislike ratio is bigger than like, which is caused by haters. And he spelled caused wrong, but I knew what he meant. Even Patterns says that he has no problem with this. And he's a Twitch streamer. So that tells you everything about this. Because people should not give a fuck about dislikes. People should not give a fuck about dislike counts. And as a creator myself, I do not particularly care about a dislike count. And that is just why people like Ami here are very frustrated, but also at the same time should probably get used to it now because nothing is going to change. I expect because tomorrow YouTube will roll out the whole dislike count to disable. And of course, Team YouTube responded to Ami's tweet without even adding them. If it helps, you can still dislike a video and creators will see this feedback privately in studio. While we know not everyone welcomes this change, it's an important step to reduce behavior that aims to silence and harass creators, especially small channels. And if you guys actually watch the video and understand it over and over and over again until you get it, then maybe you'll understand that there are some smaller creators who get to be harassed and silenced because a certain somebody massively dislike bombs your videos every single time. If you're a smaller YouTuber and you get made fun of from the way you speak or the way you look, again, as I'm saying this, if you get made fun of for the way you look or the way you speak, as I said, like nearly 35 minutes ago, or at least 35 minutes ago, then people are going to massively dislike bomb your videos. That's why YouTube is doing this. And yes, YouTube recognizes that not everybody will welcome this change, but YouTube is not gonna just switch everything back in the next 24 hours just because all of you have expressed your frustrations about about the dislike button being the dislike count, being like removed or at least hidden. And this person says people who get a huge amount of dislikes in 95% of cases deserve them. You're removing one of the lost fundamental features for rating videos on your website because idiots are too pussy to hear that their videos suck. And then this person says, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. YouTube are hiding the dislikes from a video from public. What crybaby bitch made this decision then? And then this person says, okay, if the creators can still see the dislikes, then it's not for mental health, quote unquote, mental health, like you're pretending it is. It is for protecting the image of the White House, media, corpos, etc., who otherwise have the facade of being trusted and well liked. Sad. No, Shu, that's not it at all. Like, seriously, you guys have been putting this conspiracy theory all day about the real reason why you think it is because of the White House, which is not true, the news media, which is not true, and corporations, which is not true either. There's neither of that is true. That's not what YouTube researched. Shoot, come on, Shionhead. You need to think clearly as to what YouTube is actually saying and keep it that way. Like, seriously, it is because of mental health. That is the reason why YouTube has done their own research, and therefore they are not turning back. They're not going to turn back a blind eye now, and they never will. They've done a lot of research and testing for the past 7 months. Can we all just appreciate that YouTube is doing everything they can for the creators right now instead of just whining about it on Twitter or whining about it on the platform, which is YouTube itself? Can y'all just do that? Seriously, all of you idiot YouTubers out there who are complaining, especially the viewers, are really brain dead to understand that this is the way it has to be. And if you don't like that, delete your YouTube account. And you don't have to be on the internet anymore. It's that simple. If you want the dislike count so bad, but you can't have it anymore, then delete your account. Because I don't have time for bullshit anymore. In fact, I love the fact that Team YouTube is going to take into account to release this new project that I have all across videos. I think starting tomorrow, which could start right around midnight in the next 2 hours. And I just don't think that many of you, at least 13K comments, are going to change YouTube's minds. You wasted a tweet. All of you did. All of you wasted a tweet complaining about the way YouTube is doing it. And I just don't think that it's productive enough. Like, I'm sorry if you really love the dislike button so much, or the dislike count so much. I'm sorry if you love this dislike count so much to the point where you want to marry it. But come on. The dislike count is not a human being. You can live without dislikes. It's the internet. Nobody should care about a dislike button. It's not healthy to care about dislike button anyway. I mean, I don't care about dislike button and I feel fine. And plus, if I want to, I can disable my video with just a dislike button. And so, therefore, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Oh, and plus, we already YouTube comments. Whenever we comment, the only number of the comments get are the likes of our comments, not the dislikes of our comments, because the dislikes of our comments are never shown, and they have not been shown for years. So that's another reason why YouTube made the ultimate decision to hide the dislikes on videos to match the comments that don't have dislike numbers being shown. And that's one of the reasons why, YouTube also have done this. You can say it's a bad idea all you want. Like, I really don't care. I really, really don't care. You can say that all you want, guys. You can say it, and say it. But at the end of the day, YouTube is doing what is right for their creators. And it's the only reason right now that they are doing it. Based on what they researched, And that's what they are doing it. This one Twitter user says, you're still able to harass creators if they can still see it. Jeez. Not according to their research. Not according to what YouTube researched. So if you were paying attention, RYUKRIOKU, if you were paying attention, to the video itself, this is what YouTube's been saying. What you're saying is completely different from what YouTube's been saying. So I would not be expressing your opinion with a misinformation that isn't researched at all. Josiah Muller says YouTube is the one trying to silence and harass creators. SMH. How are they trying to silence and harass creators? Have you been drinking vodka this morning? Because that's a pretty dumb take. Really, it is. Foxbro's son says, so only the creator can see the dislikes, and this is to avoid targeted harassment through dislikes. So what you're saying is the creator can still be harassed by dislikes. Got it. Definitely not censorship. It was never censorship in the first place. If you read the tweet from Team YouTube, then you understand. There is no censorship involved. Don't make stories up. Hayden Manka says, just on the don't make change fan. You can already see that the majority of people don't want it. Just leave it the way it is. No, because the majority of other people who were testing it actually wanted this. The majority of people who were testing it a while back already wanted this. The majority of users already wanted this. Because the majority of users have tested it a while back and there's nothing we can do about it now. So, don't just ask them to change it because it's too little too late. Even if they see your response right now, it's going to be too late. Plus, there's a lot of responses, so they are probably not going to see it. I mean, seriously, only a select few of you guys don't welcome this change. I bet there are plenty of people that actually welcome this change, and their comments get deeper and deeper and deeper into the comment abyss because certain people love to bury the positive responses over the negative responses on Twitter. And again, I just don't care about the dislike button at all. It's annoying that people care this much about the dislike count. Can you guys stop making changes to your platform in favor of corporations, please? They never did that because of corporations. If you watch the video, this change is about protecting their creators from reducing targets like attacks, especially for smaller channels. And if you watch the video, you would understand. Airsoft 159. So quit your corporations bullshit conspiracy theory. Jingle Cells says, I hate to get so formal about this, but I really suggest you revert this change. This will only lead to scam videos thriving on your platform, as no one will be able to tell what's fake and what's real. Again, this is a horrible change. I hope the response gets you to revert. I never seen such a big or kick in the face to disable the dislike viewer for the audience when my account was taken by a crypto scam just a month ago. Google responded to my tweet way later than they should have. This entire fucking company sucks. No offense, do better. Well, I'm sorry for you, guy, but whatever. Who cares, really? Really, who cares? This change is absolutely horrible and will only lead to harm your user base. Dislikes were an excellent way to tell at a glance whether content was fishy, misleading, or had outright false information. As someone who does have a lot of troubleshooting at work, it's important to know when a tutorial video is outdated or bad at a glance. So thanks, you made my jump a lot harder. Sorry, worry. I'm sorry you feel this way, but right now, we just need to get used to the way things are here. You know the expression, guys, we don't like change, right? But this is how it's gonna be. This is how it's really gonna be. What if a video is actually disliked by the majority of the public and all we see are likes? I don't know how that will play out with news channels and controversial videos. If you're massively disliking news channels because of the way they report the news for no reason at all, then you have no say on the platform. because you are not a journalist and you have no say to tell what information is real and what information is fake. Unless you get it from people who actually aren't journalists, then that could be exceptional. So that's the thing that you need to look into and think about. There's a good one. High Voltage says, I'm sorry, but what are these targeted disliking attacks you're talking about? Mass dislikes happen on videos that get bad reception. That's how it works. There's no text happening. Hiding it is just babying channels that can't handle any criticism. And then YouTube has to explain this. Dislike attacks happen when users act to harass a creator by driving up the number of dislikes on their videos. Do you hear that? Dislikes attacks happen when users act to harass a creator by driving up the number of dislikes on videos, which means that creators do get harassed. They do harass creators. Whether it's in the comments or by massively disliking a video. And as I said before, they do that based on the way they speak or the way they look. That's why Team YouTube says the goal of these attacks is not to give genuine feedback, but rather to hurt and harass channels. And they have more info on this video already, which you could watch and pay attention to. And the Quartering tweeted this. This isn't to protect small creators. It's to protect brands. Everyone knows it. No, the Quartering. It is not to protect small creator. To protect brands. It is not to protect brands, the Quartering. You haven't watched the video either. Like, what part do you people not get on this platform? Are the YouTube users and YouTubers brain dead these days? I mean, come on. I know that YouTube has done some not so good things in the past, but this is one of those good things. And y'all shouldn't complain about it. And y'all shouldn't be spreading these conspiracy theory rumors, such as, oh, like the only reason YouTube's doing this is to protect brands. Like, no, that's not it. That's not what they said. They never said anything like that. It is not to protect brands. It is not because of Joe Biden. It is not because of the White House. And it's not because of the corporations or the news media. It is because of creators getting attacked by massive amount of dislike attacks, which will hurt and harass creators. And that's what this is. I mean, come on. Like, I'm so done with people complaining when they haven't watched the video. If y'all just watch the fucking video, at least actually think for once. You can actually think clearly. I mean, seriously, you keep saying that it's all because of large companies / corporations, but it's not the case. This change is only about protecting our creators, as Team YouTube is saying, by reducing targeted dislike attacks, especially for small channels. I have to emphasize this again because that is why I think Team YouTube should go along with this. Now, should have Team YouTube done this a long time ago? Yes, they should have done this a long time ago. I do wish that they probably give everybody the option to whether or not disable the likes or the dislikes or both altogether. But right now, this is what they can do because this is the step in the right direction. And this is most likely the step in the right direction that Team YouTube is going with. And I respect Team YouTube's decision on this whole thing. Team YouTube is doing the best that they can. And like tomorrow or the next week after that, everybody's just gonna forget about the terrible thing that has happened to the YouTube community. And for me, I feel like this is the best that YouTube can do right now. Because YouTube most likely wants to protect creators like myself, smaller creators at least. You can rant and complain about what YouTube's been doing today all you want, but at the end of the day, you're on their site, you signed up an account for it, and you have to follow the rules and the terms of service of the site. You have to do that. Because not abiding by the terms of service or the community guidelines of YouTube, well, let's just say that it will ultimately get your channel nuked. And you know what? Complaining about it isn't going to do anything. It really isn't. And if any of you, as of tonight, make a change.org petition to get YouTube to reverse this decision, you better stop it now. It's already gonna fail sooner than later. In fact, sooner than like 2 months at least. You're not gonna get like 1 million signatures or 1,000 signatures. Like, no, you're not gonna get any of that. So you might as well just stop now and just move forward. If you dislike so much, guys, then go to other platforms that have the ability to keep the like and dislike ratio on. Since you're so obsessed with dislikes, you can go to other platforms that have the like and dislike ratio on. It's not a big deal. You just don't need to go on Twitter or go on YouTube and complain about it, making videos of it all day. I mean, that doesn't help YouTube change their minds. And plus, I could care less about the dislike button or the dislike count. And I do hope that YouTube, as of tomorrow, rolls out the dislike counts to be hidden all across every video. That's all I hope for. And that's all I need. Because it is preposterous to not have a dislike count option to, hide it. And so that's what it's gonna be from now on. Like, I'm sorry if you don't like to hear this. I'm really, really am. But I'm all for it. And I stand by Team YouTube's decision to make sure that they disable it all across every video tomorrow. So by the time I'm done with this video, it'll probably be the first one on this channel here that will have the dislike count hidden. So I just hope that everything will be fine for everyone. And yeah. It's 10:31 right now. And I should probably go and clean the dishes. So yeah. But I hope you guys understand. YouTube is just trying really hard to look out for their creators. And there's no reason for you to go on a hissy fit. You guys going on hissy fit on the dislike button today is just really irresponsible and petty and childish. That behavior needs to stop now. It just does. It really needs to stop now. And I don't care if you dislike this video all you want. The dislike count is gonna be hidden tomorrow. So I don't give a rat's ass if you complain. It's not beneficial, and it's not going to make YouTube reverse the decision, which is a smart decision in my opinion. That they will obviously keep it. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you all learned a very valuable lesson today, and I hope everybody has a good time, and please just chill out. It's just a dislike button. No reason for you to cry about it. No reason for you to cry about it. You know, it's just a dislike button. I mean, come on. The like button is much better anyway. Who cares about the dislike button? Like, seriously, y'all act like 2-year-olds who want a milky for that dislike button.